Hello, everyone. This is Greg Bishop with Deline Jewelry, and just wanted to go through a small project that we have done here. We have created the Arrowhead Bezel. As you can see in the background, there is a 3D sculpture that's going through and being rendered right now. Don't have the overall time lapse, but this is sped up 16x, and wanted to go through and show you a little bit about the process. We start off with a 3D design, trying to go through and make sure that the measurements are just right, that it can be created into a sprue tree that we can clip apart, and then you guys can actually see the progression. Now, there is some issues that you'll see in the videos. I did have an above camera that panned off center, and the footage was just no good, and it just didn't end up looking the way that we wanted it to. There is quite a bit of work that we've put in to get this video together, but overall, I think the results are pretty good. So from the progression, we've got 3D design, and then we've got the 3D modeling, and that's done in a castable resin on a resin 3D printer. Then from there, we actually do an investment casting, all of which we didn't get good captures or video capture on that. We went through, got that stuff taken care of, and then your first glance is after I cast it and after I put it in the tumbler for a little bit. And that's when this all starts off. Guys, I really appreciate you taking a look at our channel, taking a look at how we do things and what kind of work goes into making our new designs, and I greatly appreciate your time.
Alright guys, we have a new project here. I haven't named it yet, but something around the Arrowhead Bezel. I'll be adding some clips and showing a few things here. But this is just straight from cast. That's not that good. There you go. Straight from casting it to, this is the sprue tree. I used 100 grams of Stullier Plus Silver. And then this, the way that I designed it, it's got a backing. So I have the bezel here that I can put into a chuck with that piece of backing. It should really give it a good look. Let me go ahead and rinse this really quickly. Get this out of the shot. Keep everything together. So probably tumble it some more here soon. Put away. Now let me go rinse this real quick. Okay. Here we are. Nice big 4G wire. Not these cutting some of these pieces up. So my little hacksaw here. It's got a good clean blade. And some of this, now with these smaller pieces, I can get through and nip it right off. Now, you want to go through and make sure there was a couple of parts on this that didn't fully cast. Now I'll keep these little clippings and items for you can recast one time. So you can see here I'm getting a good little bit of scrap. And you can add clean casting grain and 50% used casting grain. And it's very helpful when it comes time to, it is now, you can see the design on the top. I don't want to clip too terribly much and cause deforming or movement. If it bends away from that shaft, then it won't be as straight when it goes to cut. I'm actually going to go ahead and start, actually, fold my vise over. So I'm going to clamp vise here. Really beneficial when you want to hold something tight, let it move. And this way I can go through it. Now I'll get the sprue brace in here, lock it in, move things around as necessary, and then start my cut again, walking to back material with the saw so it doesn't bend or deform any other areas. And we want that backing to be very square. And goodness, if you've gone through and just snipped it off, it'd probably be fine, but I'm trying to get that backing and that bezel to be perfectly square, which is really helpful. Now that I've got these cut on top, I'm going to actually cut this last one on the other tree. Okay. So I've got these two cut from the top. Now that there's space away from these two pieces, now I can cut some of that out without bending the piece too far out. Little details matter, going through and deciding to how to cut, where to cut, what you're wanting to do. It's all personal preference, but it all also seems to matter pretty substantially when it comes to how you're wanting to go through and get this piece, how much work it's going to cost you later. So now that I got this over to the side, it's going to be difficult now. I designed this and didn't think about how cutting it out would be. So this is, again, my first attempt at it. Let me go through and actually cut back that. Now, I worry going through and not having it out, making the tape here. I might need to go through and just clip one, knowing which one, having one being a sacrificial situation. Maybe I should think before I talk. If I have to clip one so that I don't end up sawing the wrong pieces or the wrong parts, if I have to do, I'll do it to one and then saw the rest. That way, it's not going to be all of them that are bent. It's just going to be the one that's going to be harder to fight. It's going to be what I can do here. maybe this will make a little bit more sense once I show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so here is the piece. This is the chuck that I can go through and spin the bezel, clean that up and get it just right. Don't have it just the way that I want it yet. I'm going to spur off really quickly. Again, this is me discovering here after I built this one from scratch, running into what some of the pitfalls are, what I need to work on. It looks like that one in particular was pretty tight to this piece here. It's shallow, so it could be hard to put in the chuck and then center it up and make it work for us. And I did cut it at a slight angle here. All right. I guess I could test it here with my flex shaft. And see how well we've done. Okay, so ideally, now, not perfectly squared yet. All right, so there maybe you can see that. Okay. Should work good. All right, this is exciting. I think I'll be able to go through and get the rest of these off here pretty cleanly, clean them up, and throw them back in the tumbler. Get the areas done that I want to make sure is finished up. Just, this is exciting, guys. I am happy that it's just turning out pretty good, actually. There's a lot of investment material still in here that's still got to get cleaned out. Again, this was rough, straight out of the cast, and seeing what we need to do and how we want to take care of this piece in particular, because it's new to us. I want to make sure that I give these pieces all the best chance that they can, and then make adjustments here and there for what's going to make it cast better. And so there's piece one. I'm going to try my best to get in tighter on the others. It really is very crucial to see how tightly you can get in on the stem, maybe actually even a little bit, just a little bit. Now be careful if you don't want to very fat other eye. You're ruining your pieces on how you're going to cut these leaves off. This one, you want this one. Again, this is a tedious process. We're going through and cutting out what we can, very tight and cleanly to the surface, keeping the silver or the gold, whichever one that this is silver now, but if we in the future decide to go with gold, you know how important it is to keep your precious metals. Going through each little bit and piece of the process, very important. This one is one of the most time-consuming and important parts. It's cutting it off of your screw free, because you want to make sure you know if you need to redesign something so that it's easier to cut off with. This doesn't seem too bad on this one, actually. You can hear the tone of the saw and the grinding sound. It changes as you're boring through the feed. You gotta be careful too, guys, because you clipping on this and it goes and flings right into your eye. But I've always got it looks like my fingers are really close. They are, because I'd rather nip my fingers than get a piece in the eye. Of course, saying that, I should probably have safety glasses on, but I will have to use quite a bit of material there in the end. That's one where you can debate on how you want to address adjusting the tip here. Got quite a little bit of material on it. It's good for the cast, getting the metal where it needs to go, but it's harder to clean up. That point is a little bit sharp anyway. I'm gonna figure out if that's something we want to keep. But again, this is a brand new one that's not even been out yet. I've not made a single one of these arrow bezels yet. I went from the drawing board, coming up with something that looks pretty neat. Yeah, there's a ton of times where you think, hey, this is gonna look really great, and then you print it and realize that, oh no, this theoretically was really nice, but doesn't practically work. The other part is that, again, looks really good on paper, but is this arrowhead point too sharp? Is that gonna become an issue for our customers? And that gonna upset them? Somebody gets hurt? All these questions Rachel asked me once I was finished designing it, and I 3D print one, and she's, oh, that's really sharp. Yeah, crap. Yeah, you're right. It is. But it doesn't feel it. I think that it's a pretty good situation. Maybe that's wishful thinking more so than anything else, but you win simulation. And really, gotta get out there. You gotta tell me if there's something that's good, worth continuing. And again, trying to make sure that we have content that people want to actually watch. Ideally, in my head, it's great to see how it's made, to know what work and effort goes into your piece of jewelry.
Alright guys, so this just came out of the tumbler, and this is where we stand. I'm gonna get a little bit more polishing work done to it, but it's got a pretty good look. A few little blemishes here and there, one at this top corner, but overall a really clean, pretty piece. The necklace bits will go through these sides here, through both sides, and it will hang up like that. I bet. Just a green topaz. I need to come up with a good name for it. I think what I've got right now is Arrowhead Bezel, but not entirely what it is. Just need to go through and come up with a little bit better way of talking about it. But that is pretty cool. Thank you all for being part of this.